Yeah, she just comes in like a bowling ball and just starts wrecking things. But
wrecking things, I would
wrecking
say.
them and then putting them back together in a better way.
5.
This order from the tippy top.
4.
We can't cross the wall but dream.
3.
Going around the corner, we'll see you on the other side.
2.
And action.
I want you to walk as if you're carrying your mother. She's frail, but also heavy. Fly me to the moon.
Helmy is a very successful creative at an ad agency. She ends up working at NASA because she's great at her job. She is hired to basically like sell the moon landing to the general public, which is, you know, it's sort of a mission that's fallen out of favor, and to rebrand NASA.
She definitely comes in and, you know, mixes things up in a man's world. Yeah, she just comes in like a bowling ball and just starts wrecking things. But wrecking
fixing things, I would
wrecking
say.
them and then putting them back together in a better way is where I was going.
My personal favorite? Fruit of the Loom, right? The guys gotta wear something under those big suits, don't they?
NASA, like Fruit of the Loom. Look, I am not turning this ship into a flying billboard, no matter how much you want it to happen. And, by the way, we don't have time to test all this before liftoff.
We don't have to send any of this up into space as long as we say it went.
Oh, so you're gonna lie?
It's called selling. We're not lying to the customer. We're changing the way they think.
No, it's called lying.
Cole Davis is my character, and he was taken from a couple different like real people, the NASA program at that time. I won't name names because I don't want people to think that this is any amount. You know, he's going to be responsible for kind of coaching them to get to the moon. There's been some very tragic things in the history of NASA when they were truly, when I say what they were working with technology-wise, I mean, just go look at a car from 1968. It's all analog switches, and like, I don't know how they did it.
I think Greg is like, he's such a champion for all of the characters. He's got a great like sense of comedic timing and just like timing in general.
Greg really kind of gave us freedom to really play with it, and as long as we were staying in the pocket of like these characters and creating, you know, friction between the two of them. By the book now, let's kind of like play around a little bit, and I found that really refreshing and kind of brought something really modern to this movie that, you know, is obviously a period piece. In this business where you've seen all the stories, and this was a real life thing that actually happened that we know about in our, you know, American history, and we've seen movies about it. And this one is completely and utterly, undeniably its own movie in it, and it really does have its own vibe, its own signature, and I think to be able to see one of the greatest moments in American history.
This is the scene we're about to shoot in a few minutes. It's really going well, but we need to be prepared to present an alternate version of the moon landing. And you can imagine, wouldn't really love the idea of a fake moon landing. It's really funny, really smart, really interesting. It's about that everyone is to some degree familiar with, I think, interested in. It's a beautiful story.
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars.
The atmosphere helps you in some ways. For example, with an atmosphere, you can use a parachute to slow down, okay? But the atmosphere makes it difficult too because there are winds. I mean, one of the things that's difficult about our landing is that if it's windy, the spacecraft can be carried sideways by the wind on the parachute, and then when it hits the ground, it's not just falling down, it's also moving sideways. And that's that much more energy that the airbags have to absorb.
实验室就是完全比照火星上面的状况，来让测试中的登陆小艇模拟在火星上面勘测的状况。而您现在所看到这个位置，也就是 NASA M12 火星探险计划的主控室。所有的分析资料届时都将传回这个地方进行精密的解读。预计每一辆探测车在每一个火星天可以旅行40公尺，远比之前 Sojourner 逗留者号的机动性还要大上好几倍。中次每周新闻，简历者黄春荣、殷宏文，洛杉矶报道。
别忘了订阅我们的频道，打开小铃铛就不会错过任何精彩内容，随时上架。我们下回再见。